Hey everyone. Good evening. Welcome to SICA 2021 Fall Final Showcase. This is your host for the evening, Choeun, the current president of Social Innovation Creators Academia. Though we are meeting virtually, I hope our warm welcome as well as the passion of our members are carried and delivered to all through the screen. Before we start, I'd like to give special thanks to my two vice presidents, Byung-ji Cho and Eun-bin Cho, for making tonight happen, as well as the 5 executive members who helped organize the program and make the Pro Bono Consulting program work throughout the semester. Not to mention a special thanks to our academic advisor, Professor Michael Kim, for giving us quality feedback as well as helping us through our journey for this semester. SICA is an innovative student platform established in 2017 at Yonsei Underwood International College. Throughout our existence, our mission was to incubate global social innovators and create sustainable culture of collaboration. Our vision is to bring positive and sustainable change to the world through social innovation. Now, before we start, we'll cue our intro video. SICA believes individuals can be the catalyst of social innovation. However, true impact cannot be fully achieved by a single individual or a single organization. Hence, from fall 2020, SICA initiated Korea's first private, public, and academic partnership in Pro Bono Consulting. Now the program has expanded to be part of academic curriculums in other universities, as well as multiple university branches running their own pro bono consulting programs of their own. This fall, to uphold our legacy under the theme Sustainability through Environment, Social, and Governance, ESG, SICA collaborated with Korea Social Enterprise Promotional Agency and Sangsangwoori to provide consulting to 5 social enterprises that strives to create positive social impacts through ESG values.
Pro bono stands for volunteering for the public interest by utilizing one's expertise. SICA has dived into this project since 2019 and has worked with various social enterprises ever since. Pro bono consulting provides a valuable opportunity for the companies to gain fresh insight for sustainable growth, as well as for SICA members to develop their professionalism and various skills. For 2021 fall semester, members have provided consulting to 5 social enterprises and had the chance to reflect upon how to create sustainable development under the core values of ESG.
To briefly introduce the 5 companies that the members have worked with, first is Maring. Maring serves to make mental health care more accessible to the MZ generations. Next will be 119 Rail, which makes fashion items out of used firefighter uniforms. Social Enterprise Cuz creates digital content and artistic inspiration accessible to the public. To Name Company is also a social enterprise, which facilitates the independence of smaller social enterprises and accelerates a circular, sustainable economy. Lastly, Minari Bakery strives to provide a sustainable work environment for mothers as well as Choeun community at large.
Before we move on to the team presentation, an introduction of today's judges will follow. We invited two judges today. First, we have Professor Samir Lee, who is a professor at Public Administration and Science, Technology and Policy, STP, at Yonsei University. He was a former faculty advisor for SICA. Next, we have Yonsei alumni Emma Chon, who is currently working at as the Media and Entertainment Lead at APAC Partnership for Google Singapore. Last but not least, as our panel, we have Professor Michael Kim, who is a professor of Korean history at Yonsei Graduate School of International Studies, and he's the current faculty advisor for Social Innovation Creators Academia. Please welcome all of our judges, ladies and gentlemen, as well as our guests, with a big round of applause. Now it's time to meet our young and global social innovators. Please join the live Q&A chat room via Kakao to ask questions to the team. And with no further ado, let's move on with our first team's presentation. The first team to present tonight would be Maring. Team Maring is tackling the problem of mental burnouts among Gen Z generation who struggle due to negative perception of mental health care therapy in South Korea. Thus, they focused on launching 3 marketing strategies to publicize self-mental caring through the brand mascot, Mabong. The following is their recorded team pitch.
Good evening, everyone. We're Team Marine. This semester, our team has worked with a company called Marine, which aims to provide self-mind caring services to the generation NZ. The contents of today's presentation are as follows. Marine was first initiated by identifying serious mental health problem of Koreans, especially of NZ generations in their early 20s, due to the severe underemployment and accumulative stress since high school. Generation MZ hesitate to receive professional treatment due to the fear of receiving disadvantages based on their medical reports. Also, not much of information on these mental treatments are out there public due to the negative social perception. Therefore, Marine aims to tackle this problem in the most humorous and friendly way. With their mascot character called Mabong, they are selling first Mabong plushie and second emotional journal with an erasable pen. Recently, the company has been focusing on the keyword burnout, not just general depression of MZ generation. Based on such background, Marine asked us to first conduct the market research of the mental care services market. Second, come up with a new SNS marketing plans for the company's reopened account. Through the Pro Bono project, Marine is expecting the results of raising the awareness of Mabong and also leading to a positive perspective on receiving self-mind caring.
In order to analyze NZ generation's awareness of self-mind caring and outline our marketing strategy, our team conducted a survey and an interview on college students. We were allowed to collect over 250 responses over a week for the survey and interviewed 8 people in total. Thus, our team was able to draw out 3 major conclusions. For more detailed and specific data of the survey, please refer to the QR code below. First, the popularity of self-mind caring is significantly low. Second, the concept of self-mind caring lacks consumers' trust. Lastly, consumers are willing to be confirmed with the evidence on the function of Mabong and Mind Journal. So we concluded that the lack of professionalism can be the weakness of Marine, as it can lead to a decrease in credibility of the actual effectiveness. So based on our survey, our target persona of Marine is a 22-year-old woman who is seeking for an internship, therefore exposed to extreme stress. She is living alone and has many part-time jobs. She is an active user of SNS, Instagram, lacking time and money to take care of herself. Next, let's take a look at Marine's comparative advantage in the current market. We tried to divide the competitor analysis in 2 perspectives, company Marine and consumers. In the perspective of company Marine, the biggest competitive edges of Marine are relatively low price compared to other psychological counseling apps and casual features. In the perspective of consumers, the competitors are other plushies such as Kakao Friends. Mabong has similar price with them, but lower popularity or lower scale of the fandom. Therefore, through several meetings with company Maring, we concluded that the biggest problem that we should deal with is Maring's lack of brand identity. We thought that Maring lacks the differentiation compared to other self-made care services or character dolls. The company also wants a concrete branding because it does not stand out in expertise or professionalism as shown in our survey. Maring wants a friendly and humorous image, focusing on the keyword burnout. Based on this, we started to reorganize Instagram accounts from the beginning, and Instagram marketing was planned with the aim of new branding. So, intimacy, engagement, and credibility are needed for each promo.
For the SNS marketing strategy, we utilize Instagram as it targets both generation, millennial and Gen Z. Furthermore, to consolidate the new humorous and friendly brand image of Maring, we decided to lead a renewal of its SNS channel. So under the slogan Mabong will be with you, we took the theme of awards in order to celebrate the new beginning. We chose it to create the intimacy, credibility, and engagement of Mabong. We decided to promote 3 events and test out which marketing strategy worked best for Maring. The goal of the marketing strategy is to increase the visibility of Mabong by targeting specific audiences through those 3 events during 1 month. Hence, we globally focus on staying in touch with the followers as much as possible while raising the awareness of Mabong. The first event is the Mabong's Healing Place Expedition. The goal of the marketing strategy is to increase awareness and interaction with Mabong and the followers. Hence, the format of the Healing Place Expedition will be a short video of 30 seconds. The idea will be a travel scenery video with the smooth Mabong plushie. Therefore, we posted a survey on the Instagram to ask the followers to recommend places they believe that they are the most comfortable and relaxing. 4 of them were selected and then filmed for a short video with Mabong as an example of future posts for the follower to participate. And it will be like the travel scenery video as we can see on TikTok or Instagram Reels. The second event is focused on the interaction with Mabong and the followers. It will be the moment we need with Mabong. The content will be journal stories that will involve stressful situation and hence we will need a consolation from Mabong. Followers could upload their content as a diary to Mabong. Among the content, we will pick the most touching one to share in the future post on Instagram. We decided to implement the second strategy as the company Maring has developed an emotional journal and erasable pen. Thus, we thought of softly introducing the concept of diary with Mabong. As you can see with the example, it would be actually interesting to see an interaction of the followers when they recur in Mabong during a stressful moment. The third event will be the user review challenge. The goal of this event is to increase the credibility of Mabong usage and to form a consumer community. Hence, we will use Instagram story to do the challenge and the context. For the content, consumers will be uploading a photo or videos, reviews, and share their story recording the Mabong plushies. And at the end, there will be a reward of the top 3 touching or funny reviews that are the most Mabong friendly.
Now we would like to introduce the result analysis of the marketing strategies we implemented. So far, we made announcements for the first and the second marketing events. For the first event, Mabong's Healing Place Expedition, we selected 경복궁, 청경궁, 한강공원, and Gwangju 호수공원. The post reached more than 1,600 people, made more than 2,000 views. The number of the followers who showed their reaction for the post increased 16.5% compared to the previous week. For the second event, Moments We Need Mabong, we got numerous replies from the followers sharing the moments they feel stressed and ask Mabong to console them. We discovered the second event throughout the positive reactions of the followers with a record of 35% increase in the number of the accounts the post reached compared to the previous week. We discovered that the post recorded more than 1,900 views, reached more than 1,700 accounts. Lastly, we would like to introduce our future plan for the project. In the first week of December, we are planning to upload the contents that we created for each event and announce the closing of Mabong Awards. Among the 3 strategies, we would select the strategy that received the most reactions from consumers and make a suggestion for Maring to further develop their marketing strategies. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Thank you, Team Baring, for your presentation. Now we'll move back to the feedback session from the judges. Team Baring, as well as the judges, please turn your camera on for the feedback session. We will start with Professor Sanedi.
Yeah, it was a nice presentation, and then nice to try. I'm quite impressed by your performances in doing the setting up the marketing strategy, and then implemented the plan, and then came up with the very tangible outcomes for SNS-based marketing per se. But what I'm thinking is the earlier part of the presentation. I was expecting that brief analysis of the business model of the Mabon itself compared to their competitors, and then how good the quality of their the consultation for the consumers, and then how much do they pay for something like that. So final, like a goal of the Mabon might be the give them a good consultation on the customers, and then the customers will get a psychological relief. That's the final products. So I think like your marketing strategy should be based on such kind of overall analysis of the Mabon, the business model, also as a social enterprise, their social goals too. Are they effective in accomplishing their goals initially? Then we can say as the put that as a bottom line, we can talk about the how to attract more people to the platform itself. So I'm just wondering whether you have a confidence in the quality of services Mabon is providing with, and then do you believe it, and also has been a customer to the service itself? Because from the perspective of consumers, it might be totally different from the supplier itself. And then the weakness and then the strength from the perspective of supplier, surprisingly very different from those of consumers. So I think in that sense, if those kind of marketing strategy was set up by the supplier's perspective, probably your furthering report can be strengthened by adding more perspective from the consumers, and then their evaluation of the efficacy of the service provided by the Mabon there. So sometimes when we doing this kind of a marketing strategy and marketing consultation, we just always thinking about the attracting more people. But if you're just successful attracting more people to bad service, that's nightmare for the social enterprise, right? So I think you have some kind of a good analysis of the quality of the services Mabon is providing with. But at the strategy, your presentation, you show that the location and strategic position of Mabon compared to the competitors. But I'd like to see more the casual and low cost. Casual and low cost probably relate to the poor quality of service. So I'm not sure casual and low cost approach can guarantee or can generate the good or excellent service quality to the needy people, especially we're talking about the people have a kind of depression and low self-esteem and blah, 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 like that. So I'd like to see more analysis on the business structure of the Mabon itself and then analysis on the service Mabon is providing with. Are they enough the people in there? And then are they qualified compared to their competitors? And then low cost means that the people who are working in Mabon is less equipped or less qualified. I don't know about those kind of questions. So you need to show that the goods you are selling is a good one, and the only problem is attracting more people. Then marketing strategy in that context probably will be more meaningful because you are successful in attracting more people to the service itself, and then exposed the position of the service. But it should be combined with the analysis of the overall business model, and then their general analysis of the operation itself. That was a good job, and then presentation was pretty good. Considering the SICA's capability, I have no doubt that you're doing an excellent job in there when you're finishing that too. Good job. Applause. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Next, we'll move to Emma Chung-chan. Emma, when you're ready.
Sure, thank you. Thank you for the presentation. It was very impressive. And considering how young these students are, I'm actually really impressed about your actionable items and how you followed through. So first, starting with the pros, I was really impressed that you guys really did a survey of more than 200 people to identify Mabong's market positioning and how to improve that, and then actually followed through that with a marketing campaign, and you showed the results till the end. I think for a social enterprise, a tangible case study like this is really helpful. So the fact that this team was willing to go out there, actually try out different marketing strategies and deliver some results was great. And on the items for improvement, I did agree with Professor Lee a lot on his statement. I think the first point of questioning for me was how you define the problem. I think the problem was not very clearly defined as the attracting of people to Mabong, because again, if the value proposition of Mabong is not very clear, I wasn't really sure if the problem was attracting new people or just selling the product or actually having a stronger value proposition of the product, because it seems that Mabong is a plush toy along with a social enterprise element of consulting for MZ generation. But when you actually mapped Mabong out with other competitors, you compared it to the likes of Kakao plush toys. So in my mind, the ongoing question was, is Mabong just a plush toy? Or does it actually do a little more than just being a toy, where it has a social interaction element and a psychological constellation element? So that wasn't too clear to me. And secondly, when you were analyzing the survey, from the survey results to linking to the persona, the logical flow of that wasn't very clear. I could tell the persona fits the MZ generation profile, but I wanted to see how you got from the survey to actually formulating that persona. Okay. And lastly, I think if you had done a bit more of the market research in a deeper way of Mabong's competitors, you may have come up with actually more companies that are relevant, not in just from the company's point of view, but a general consumer point of view. I'm sure there are a lot more products out there that are not just plush toys, but maybe an app or maybe a software solution that actually tackles the same problem. In that case, even if it's not a plush toy, I would say it's a competitor in some ways that they would need to think about, and maybe they can improve their own product upon. Overall, I thought it was a great job. I thought the presenters did a really great job of articulating their individual pieces, and great collaboration on working on a pretty nascent concept and company in Korea. Thank you.
Thank you for your feedback to both of the judges. And thank you for Team Baring for all of your hard work throughout the semester for the past 3 months. Next, we will proceed to welcome Team 119. Team 119 has analyzed the upcycling market trends along with the strengths and weaknesses of the company. The team has found that the company lacks data-driven decision-making and an understanding of consumer patterns, which they hope to resolve by providing analytic tools for the company. Please welcome Team 119's pitch.
Hello, we are Eugene Kong, Chaemin Lim, Sojin Jung, Jiyoung Kim from Team 119 Rail. 119 Rail is a social enterprise which upcycles firefighting clothes to make bags, accessories, etc. First, we will give you an overview of the upcycling market, which is the market 119 Rail is in. The number of domestic upcycling brands is at an exponential growth from about 10 companies in 2011 to over 100 companies in 2017. The size of the market is also showing fast growth from $2.5 million in 2013 to $10 million in 2015.
Next, we will be discussing the business status of 119 Rail in 2 steps. Firstly, customer analysis, and secondly, problem identification. When it comes to customers, 119 Rail has a varied age demographic from customers in their 20s to customers in their 60s. The younger demographic purchases mostly cheap products such as bracelets, whereas the older demographic purchases relatively high-priced products such as bags and backpacks. Moreover, another distinctive characteristic of Rayo's customer base is that there is a very strong loyal customer base. This consists of around 20 customers where they purchase most of Rayo's products. Thirdly, Rayo's purchase route composition is as follows. 50 to 60% of their profits come from the company website. 10 to 15% of their profits come from offline sales. The remainder comes from other fashion platforms such as Musinsa. Therefore, we suggest analyzing customer behavior and customer demographic through their company website utilizing Google Analytics. Moving on to problem identification. We believe that while Rayo has plenty of unique strengths, it does have a lack of understanding of its customers. To solve this problem, we conducted surveys, we researched methods to increase the brand's image of eco-friendliness, and we recommended a data-based customer analyzing system. Next, we will be discussing project implementation. In order to enhance the company's marketing strategies, we helped Rayo quantify its environmental impacts and conducted surveys for market research. Through our survey, we identified that firstly, 59.7% of respondents replied that 119 Rayo should focus on E, which stands for environment among the ESG values. Secondly, 58.2% of survey respondents replied that they are willing to buy 119 Rayo's products for its eco-friendliness. We think that this actively shows that 119 Rayo should show the customers that they recycle specifically firefighting apparels due to environmental effects. Therefore, we've also made calculations quantifying Rayo's environmental impacts. Every single year, Rayo processes around 7 tons of firefighting equipment. This translates to 8.4 tons of carbon dioxide or CO2 saved compared to simply sending these clothes to landfills. Quantifying this statistic a bit further, one tree absorbs 22 kilograms of carbon dioxide every year. We concluded that Rayo's upcycling produces similar environmental preservation impacts as the work done by 382 trees. Going further, in order to have Rayo's eco-friendly business model certified by a third party, we also suggested that they apply for an eco-label, specifically the Global Recycle Standard. We believe that this specific company should be used for certification because firstly, the standard applies to the full supply chain and addresses traceability, environmental principles, social requirements, chemical content, and labeling. Secondly, it is the most prominent certificate in the fabric industry and considered a must for global fashion brands. Thirdly, it is a certificate that is cheaper and much easier to register compared to other certificates. In order to implement the environmental PR, we propose the subdivision of the mission category on the Rayo website. Currently, what's shown on the PowerPoint slide is how Rayo's website looks like. We have proposed the subdivision of this current category, adding a new subcategory to show consumers Rayo's exact contribution to the environment. More specifically, we suggest adding an environment subcategory where our research is incorporated in Rayo's marketing strategy for customers to see. We suggest a visually appealing yet concise infographic, such as the one depicted in the current presentation slide. Similarly, once Rayo's application for the GRS is processed and the company receives certification, we suggest adding an EcoMark subcategory where customers can verify firsthand the sustainable, eco-friendly business model of Rayo.
Finally, we are going to talk about how we used customer data to identify and solve a UX problem of the company website. Data-driven decision-making is essential for CRM. We realized that the company wasn't properly managing the traffic data of its website. As over half of its sales comes from its website, accumulating and analyzing data coming from the website is essential for 119 Rayo. We proposed the company to use Google Analytics, a free web analysis tool made by Google. GA was implemented on the company website, and we collected traffic data from the website for about a month. The following pictures are some of the information we gathered from GA. Taking a close look at the web traffic data collected by GA, we identified an unusual pattern. The graph on the right shows the change in the number of users according to the different user actions. we noticed that the biggest proportion of users leave the site at the view item phase, which is when the user clicks on a specific item. About half of the users fall out from user engagement to view item. We tried to find a reason for the sharp decrease in the number of visitors. We accessed the website from many devices and to find any inconveniences from the view item page that might cause any discomfort. A problem we found was that the photos on the page took a long time to load, especially from a mobile phone. We found further verification from the online tool called Page Speed Insights, which is a tool made by Google in the purpose of finding any aspects of a site that would make it slower. The conclusion we reached was that the company's website loses a large number of users because of the long loading time at the item viewing page. Next, we had to find a solution for this problem. We realized that all the photos on the website were in JPEG and PNG format, which has a big file size. Instead, we proposed the company to use WebP and AVIF image files, which are next generation image file formats having up to 1/10 of the file size for the same image quality. However, the problem with these next generation image files is that it is only compatible with updated internet browsers and does not work for a lot of the old ones. Therefore, we provided the company with an HTML code that can automatically use the file type compatible with the internet browser accessing the website. Our team summarized our findings and solutions in the form of a report and shared it with the company CEO. We did not have the time to witness the outcomes of our proposals, but we hope our findings can help the company develop a better UX and increase the user retention rate on its site. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Thank you for your presentation, Team 119. Now we will move on to the feedback session for Team 2. Judges as well as members from Team 119, please turn your camera on for the feedback session. We will first hear from Professor Hammerly.
Yeah, thank you. That was a nice presentation, especially using the CRM data and by using the Google Analytics. There was a pretty good one, and then calculating the strategy for enhancing the environmental aspect of the 119 rail. There was a pretty good one, especially calculating the saved amount of carbon there. But I'd like to point out that whether the amount of the trees equivalent to the saved carbon is big enough to justify environmental aspect of this business. So you're saying that about the 382 trees, okay, to some people it's a pretty much trees, but to some people, oh, again, 382 for a year. Okay, why are we doing this? So isn't there any better way to save the carbons than recycling this? So I think you should come up with some kind of another idea. But briefly, you mentioned about we sharing the profit with the firefighters. So it means that probably by doing the upcycling, we share the experiences of the firefighters, something like that. We just like going with them. So I think like instead, in addition to the environmental emphasis, we would like to put the social, the value there. We are solely, we have a solidarity with the firefighters, something like that. I think in that context, it might be more persuasive, more meaningful to the people to spend some money on the upcycled one. So in this case, I know it's a positive impact, but the size of the impact is not the great to persuade people to spend some money on that for environmental purpose only. Second thing is when you look at the Google's analytics, most of people coming from Seoul area, and then the reach from the other provincial area very limited. So I think one of the problem, but the firefighters is all over the regions. So I'm just wondering, it might be a good strategy to expand the reach of the customers beyond Seoul area. By that way, probably you can multiply all those kind of customer bases like that. But the problem with the entire this business is their supply of the recycled firefighters the equipment is limited. It means that supply is limited. So the market they are looking for is a already limited amount of market. So I'm just wondering when is the target goal reaching the entire capacity of the supply limit there. So if they're hitting the limit, what would be like a sustainable argument to expand or to keep the operation the consistent over years? So we need another dimension or diversification approach, probably recycling other stuffs and those kind of stuff. I know that the job of this team is just limiting these two main items, but I think there's some kind of areas you can apply your concepts for the better growth of this the enterprise itself. It's a very good attempt, and then because it has a very good social goals too. And then I think you guys did a very good job in analyzing them and pinpointing them. It's very technical, detailed, and then environmental justification. But I'd like to suggest you to add one more dimension to strengthen your argument and then helping them organization. Great job, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Next, we'll move on to Emma's feedback.
Thank you. Thanks for the presentation. I thought how you laid out the presentation and how the presenters took on the challenge was really impressive. First of all, what I found impressive was, first of all, you defined the problem quite clearly. You were trying to address two main points. And then the solutions that you also offered the company were actually pretty actionable. And they were items that the company could take on pretty much from day one. And while you were presenting, I also checked out the 119 Reo's website, and I realized they had implemented a lot of your suggestions. So kudos to you on that. I found the research that you did on the eco label quite helpful. It would have been helpful if you had listed some of the alternative certifications as well for the company. And also your suggestion about adding the mission category has been reflected by the company, which is great. And lastly, I was really impressed that you guys used Google Analytics to actually parse through the CRM data. And I'm not saying this because I come from Google, but I think it was very resourceful that you were able to use a free tool out there to actually make sense of data for small companies. Small enterprises usually don't have the data capabilities to do this themselves. So the fact that you brought in a new tool and actually provided them with a technical solution to speed up their image on the website, I found was very impressive. On the areas of improvement, and I think this is a common feedback for all of the groups, is it would have been great if you showed in the presentation what their products were about. Because I think the person introducing just said fashion items. I wasn't sure if it was shoes or a hat, but it turns out they're upcycling everything that you can find from a firefighter suit. So if you had just one slide maybe on what this company does, what they produce, what they're trying to promote, I think that would have been helpful. And secondly, on the survey that you conducted, it wasn't very clear how many people that you conducted the survey for and who your demographics were. I think that information, even in footnote, would have been helpful. And lastly, I think the first presenter said they couldn't follow through and see the results. It would have been great to actually incorporate the results because I think they were pretty strong in strengthening your entire presentation. Thank you. Great job.
Thank you to both judges for your wonderful feedback, as well as to the team for your hard work and effort. Next, we will move to our third team of the night, Team Effect. Team Effect helps to aim cons reach their goal of resolving issues via media art. They have created an interactive display as well as an Instagram filter to expand the company's presence on and offline, not to mention create a separate Instagram channel to help promote the company and further its online presence. Everyone, please welcome Team Effect.
Hello, we are Team Effect with Kaz, Junyoung Lee, Taeun Kim, Tobin Pyun, and Jue Hong. This is the table of contents. First, we will explain how interest in the digital art market changed during the COVID pandemic. As social distancing levels rose, people became more interested in digital media, and the word metaverse prevailed globally. Interest in NFT investments rose, where people could sell artworks through the blockchain system. Due to this trend, more people, especially the Gen Zs, visit digital art exhibitions these days. Next, we will introduce the competitors and the differentiation point of Kaz. These are digital art companies in Korea that are competitors of Kaz. The other three companies carried out way more projects than Kaz did, which means that they have been on the market for a long time, long enough to gain credibility among their core customers. However, as we researched other companies, they seemed far from creating social values. So the differentiation point of Kaz is that they are creating desirable social values, ESG-friendly digital art company. So this is the graph of the competitors and Kaz. As you can see, Kaz exceptionally provides more socially desirable values. So how could ESG-friendly characteristics be the differentiation point? The main target for digital art, the Gen Zs, welcome ESG-friendly companies. According to a survey from 한국상공회의소, Gen Zs buy more products from ESG-friendly companies even though they are more pricey, and they think ESG advertisements are very effective to them. Kaz opens exhibitions to alert environmental problems and to give opportunity for low-income people to watch free art exhibitions. Thus, we thought creating desirable social value is a differentiation point and the marketing point of Kaz.
First, we'll go over our first project in Starfield Hanam and the limitations that we learned from this project. Love Earth, Switch Off was a campaign posted on a giant media tower inside of Starfield Hanam. This campaign aims to spread the message that small actions can come together to save the Earth. To promote this, we first wrote articles on the company website at the request of the company. As you can see, a total of 10 articles have been written and 4 articles have been posted on the website. In addition, our team visited Starfield and participated in the campaign. Furthermore, we wanted to find out what was needed in order for the campaign to proceed effectively. In response, we proposed a STEM card plan to encourage participation in the campaign and to inform more about the company to the public. With these efforts, 1,000 participants, which was the initial KPI of the campaign itself, was achieved. Overall, 4,067 people participated, which was far above expectations. However, our team was able to find limitations in marketing through articles. The problem was that the highest number of views on the articles posted on the website was only 49. Nevertheless, looking at the fact that the time spent on the page was high, it came to the conclusion that it was a matter of marketing rather than the problem of the content itself, and thus we sought other means of marketing.
To formulate a successful advertising method, our group conducted further research on the importance of B2C marketing strategies in the B2B market. For instance, Mannheim University of Germany proposed that a firm's brand awareness acts as a key factor in attaining B2B projects, and that firms with more known and better brand image normally had higher performance in B2B markets. Such was more prevalent in homogeneous markets similar to the situation Kaz is in. Moreover, as brand awareness directly correlates with public awareness, which ultimately leads to the point that B2C marketing strategy is inevitable even in B2B markets.
So the goal of the Pro Bono Consulting that our team set was to create brand image as a social enterprise by raising public awareness of the company. And to achieve this goal, our team first decided to focus on the B2C marketing strategy. In addition, the team saw that it was urgent to find ways to expose blog articles currently operated by Kaz to more people rather than just limiting to the company's website. The first way our team thought of was to use famous blog platforms such as Medium and Ghost. However, the problem with this plan was that if we post articles with the same or similar content on multiple platforms, Google recognizes them as duplicate contents and thus lowers the probability that the Google search engine would recommend cause article when the public enters related keyword into a search bar. So the second way we thought of was to use social media. First, we selected promotional targets and the social platforms. The targets we selected were Generation MZ. The characteristic is that they practice value consumption and have a great interest in social values. Another characteristic is that they are also interested in XR field and are active users of Instagram among various social media. So based on this, we thought that if we increase the number of followers on Instagram with users in their 20s and 30s who are interested in both XR technology and metaverse, it will be great help in promoting cause project in the future. So this was how it has been done. First, we researched on successful Instagram marketing strategy and had team meetings. Then we created an Instagram prototype for cause. We had car news to deliver information, explained the social value cause is trying to promote, like the importance of protecting the environment, and provided useful information about extra technology based on the blog articles. We tried to figure out how cause competitors were using Instagram. In particular, in the case of District, Instagram was used to inform public of their projects. They inserted videos as well as photos to make followers more interested in AR video that the company produced. On the other hand, cause official Instagram lacked explanation, images, and videos of project conducted by the company so far. So our team produced and uploaded card news that contained these contents. In addition, taking advantage of the fact that all users who follow our Instagram can see the story, our team held the event, shared blog contents and links, and cause project videos in the story.
Through these efforts, despite the short time of a week, we were able to achieve 240 followers, which is 2.4 times the KPI of 100 followers that we set with cause. The AR filter selfie event was exposed to as many as 22,895 people. Before the promotion, the number of times filters were performed was 757 times, and the number of exposure was 178. After the promotion, the number of performances increased to approximately 1,100 times, and the number of exposures increased to 386. In addition, article-based card news posts earned up to 89 views. This, compared to 49 views of the articles posted on the cause website, shows a 181% increase in views. Considering the period of time the article was posted on the website, this data shows that marketing through Instagram can expose the company to more people in a shorter period of time.
Finally, we would like to conclude with our ending remark. Conclusively, along with cause appealing their strength of social value creation and digital media arts, cause will be able to appeal themselves as a social enterprise to the MZ generations, which will both cover for the weakness and strength of cause. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Thank you, Team Effect, for your presentation. Now we'll move back for the judge feedback. Judges as well as members from Team Effect, please turn your camera on. We will begin the judge feedback starting from Professor Lee. Professor, when you're ready, you may begin.
Okay, thank you for the nice presentation. This is a very new area, digital art. This is a kind of like a new business lines, which is very distinctive to deal with, probably quite different from the traditional industry. One thing is that you made a quite good approach, and then I like your team's mission statement there. So I think like you are very clearly aware of what you are doing by participating in this project itself. But one thing is the same thing with the Mabong's case. I think like you need to analyze the what kind of social value does the cause is supplying with. I think I'd like to hear the deep analysis of their business model or impact model there. So I'm just wondering, by consuming some digital art, I can promote the social value. I think the link between them is quite weak or sometimes vague. So that the people reading the article, the promoting those kind of things, I'm not sure. I think it's far from the impact there. So people who are aware of the social values and participating in the cause business and then buying some stuff and then cause is using that money to do something like that. Very complicated value chains out there. So in order to analyze the whole value relationship involved with the cause, I think I need a very good the analysis of the position there. It's the same thing when we're thinking about the bringing people to this platform. You need to think about the kind of reward that people will receive by participating in this kind of business there. But I'm not sure you are quite successful in attracting people to the platform. But from the consumer's perspective, I think except the Starbucks coffee coupons, what do they expecting to receive from the participation and further buying some stuffs there? That's kind of vague to me. Also, the MG generation usually don't have the money to buy digital art. Usually, if you think about you need to analyze the kind of financial situation of MG generation there. So I'm just wondering how many people are allocating their budget to buy those kind of stuffs there. So basically, you need to analyze some kind of average price of the digital art sold by the company, and then this is affordable for the consumers that you are targeting for. So that's my concern there. But overall analysis, as I mentioned before, your goal statement there, that was a home run, and I like it very much. But I think if you're adding more the analysis there, I think a much better presentation. There was a super job. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Next, we'll move to Anna.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought this team tackled a very interesting company. Something related to NFT or metaverse is very now. And I think because of that challenge, it was a little harder for the team to define the problem in a way, because the product is not something that's very familiar to us yet, and it's still in the developing phases. So with that in mind, I'll give my comments. First of all, I thought how you dissected the market and you actually took on the challenge of understanding NFTs and digital art was very impressive. And secondly, I really liked how you followed through with a plan for the company to increase followers, to increase exposure, and you tried a few different things. I think it would have been better if you thought beyond just Instagram and card news and like had a more of a 360 campaign, especially given that this company has offline presence as well with their work. I think that would have been effective. I think one of the fundamental issues that was not tackled too well was how this company is actually a ESG company. It was hard to understand what their social enterprise, what their value as a social enterprise was, aside from selling digital art where the topics are related to social responsibility. So I think that connection has to be established quite clearly. Otherwise, I didn't think this fell into the category of social innovation in a way. So I think the business model needs to be defined a lot clearer. How they're making money, how they're paying their employees, or how they're actually giving back to society has to be cleared out. Otherwise, without that being clear, you can't really apply that to their marketing. So it's like a circular argument going on there. I think that's all from me. But overall, really good presentation, and I really commend the effort of trying to delve into a topic that's not familiar to a lot of people today. Thank you.
Thank you to both judges for your quality feedback, as well as to Team Kans for your hard effort throughout the semester. Next, we'll move on to the fourth team for tonight. The fourth team is Team Amigo. Amigo has identified issues relating to two names company's branding, online presence, as well as its website. Their purpose for the project will consist of social media campaigns, as well as to guide and communicate their values to the quality of the project, as well as the services that can be provided to potential customers through online channels. Please welcome Team Amigo.
Hello, we are Team Amigo, and this semester we provided Pro Bono Consulting to Two Name Company for concretizing and establishing their brand identity via a social media campaign. Amigo is a word that combines the initials of our names with an A at the front. Amigo means friend in Spanish, to show that we'll be a friend to Two Name Company and to help Two Name Company become more customer friendly. This is our table of contents. Two Name Company is a social vendor that is currently running an e-commerce platform called 독립생활연구소, or My Living Lab, that sells products from social economy companies and one-person companies. On the production side, the company delivers the social values practiced by social enterprises to consumers, and through this helps social enterprises grow and become independent. On the consumer side, by consuming products of social enterprises, consumers can practice social and ethical consumption.
Now we will analyze the company using the 3C analysis. According to the company's data on its website members, 74% are Gen MZ and 26% are Gen X. While the initial target customer of My Living Lab was single-person households, our VOC research on product reviews also identify other customers, such as mothers with young children and newlyweds. Thus, we redefined the target customer to Gen MZ. We also confirmed that customers focus on cost-effectiveness, quality, and convenient usage of products. Next, My Living Lab has a clear ambition to spread ethical consumption and support social impact startups. Its Korean brand name 독립생활연구소 signals that it targets those living independently. However, at first sight, its website page and uncategorized display of products on social media pages did not clearly cater to the target customers. Even their brand introduction page was hard to locate and unintuitive. Plus, their social media accounts showed low customer interaction. Thus, the primary problem of unclear brand identity confirmed the need to raise brand awareness. In terms of the company's place in the ethical e-commerce market in Korea, My Living Lab cites more with greater product diversity and middle range for target customers, leaning towards Gen M. Compared to other competitors, we analyzed that My Living Lab's differentiating point is their product being provided to a wider age range and thus appeals to the wider population. Further competitor analysis also revealed the importance of a unified brand identity. Unified visual concepts and highlighting their target social problems were essential. Thus, My Living Lab's brand identity had to be clearly defined to raise their brand awareness.
To define our problem, we used the AARRR framework. My Living Lab is currently at the acquisition stage. Hence, the problem is brand identity is not clearly delivered and brand awareness is low. To reach the activation stage, consumers need to access My Living Lab. As such, although My Living Lab initially requested an interactive SNS challenge, we will be solidifying their mission and present it on Instagram. Since our target consumer is Gen MZ, we researched their consumption trends and patterns to create contents that cater to them. The trend of the Korean Gen MZ this year is conception, which refers to the occurrence of forming a relationship through content and creating content. Another marketing keyword is meaning out, which means consumption based on not only the quality and price of the product, but also on the social and ethical values. A survey showed that 79% out of 928 Korean Gen MZs identify themselves as value-driven consumers. However, according to McKinsey, Koreans are the least willing to pay more for environmentally responsible products out of Asia-Pacific consumers. Hence, to appeal better to consumers and create a community among the brand and the concept-oriented consumers, our solution will primarily focus on quality and brand and secondarily on social value. Our persona, therefore, summarizes our 3C analysis and market research. She's a newlywed woman, 32-year-old office worker living in an apartment in Seoul. She's an active Instagram user who is attracted to trendy contents with a clear concept. She also enjoys and finds convenient online shopping. Because she's a value-driven consumer, she is willing to pay more with her disposable income. However, as she still focuses more on product quality and price, she's in search of shopping websites that can accordingly satisfy her needs as a newlywed family.
To increase brand awareness, our solution is an Instagram campaign that informs consumers of ethical consumption using user-friendly phrases. While specifying the mission of My Living Lab, it was found that the social value of social enterprises is not well communicated to consumers, making it challenging for tuning companies' vision to be realized. Therefore, the campaign aims to promote brands merchandised on My Living Lab using accessible languages when explaining their social impact. The expected outcome of this campaign is improved brand awareness through increased responsiveness of customers via social media. In order to provide consumer-tailored content, the campaign will be called 월간 연구소, meaning it studies how can consumers live their day better, and promotes the social value of My Living Lab as a social vendor, and it will be introduced as follows. The monthly lab posts will introduce the best products every month under one theme. The car news will be formatted like a catalog, emphasizing the product's quality, cost-effectiveness, and convenient usage, which are the top 3 factors that appeal to Gen MZ customers. Moreover, the SDG goals, sustainability points, and social impacts that customers can leave through purchase are outlined using visuals and accessible language. Lastly, My Living Lab's goal is fulfilled by identifying each brand as a tent maker and explaining the social value of the brand. The name tent maker is the keyword behind the company's logo and represents those who are starting a journey to live alone. This will increase the sense of belonging for Gen MZ and hence value consumption. With the car news, we use a unified design and color scheme to make it easier for customers to understand their brand identity and atmosphere. This allows customers to intuitively know the brand goals that promote social values and form a sense of belonging with consumers of the MZ generation through the tent maker community. This way, consumers can become more attached to the brand. We created an Instagram demo page and decided the order of postings to form a sense of unity. So when a customer encounters the content, they will receive the brand's unique intuitive impression. In addition, the website's brand introduction page and Instagram bio were concisely modified. In the future, we plan to post 월간 연구소 postings regularly under the same template after the final revision process with the CEO. In addition, the contents of their car news will be promoted using the story feature on Instagram with short clips and reposts. The goal of this project was to increase the accessibility of My Living Lab and thus deliver the company's brand purpose more clearly. By increasing brand awareness, the campaign will guide customers to the company's website, and coupled with the company plans to renew its website in the near future, this will further guide the company to the next step in the AARRR framework, activation, where customers will have a positive first user experience at My Living Lab. We hope that in the long run, this project will lead to greater purchases and promote the social impact of My Living Lab. We hope this campaign will be the first step in this development. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Team Abito, for your team presentation. Next, we'll move back for the judge feedback. Members from Team Amigo, as well as both judges, please turn your camera back on. Once everyone is ready, we will start the judge feedback with Professor Lee's feedback. Professor, when you're ready.
Okay, there's a good one. That's presentation, and then the solution itself looks very professional. I like the outcome itself, and then the process you introducing those kind of solutions to tackle the problem. There was a nice logic there. I like your logic and then all the logical connection inside your proposal. The one thing I'd like to see that the competitor analysis. This is a kind of shopping mall. So shopping malls competitiveness depending on various aspects. So I'm not sure like you analyze the entire strength and the weakness of their website itself. Probably you're talking about the marketing and marketing part, how to attract people. But I think sometimes that the product they're selling is competitive or not is very important. And then the price itself too. So for the other, I'm not sure about their brand they are selling in there. Is a kind of this shopping mall only, or you can find that this kind of product other platforms. It makes a big differences because from the consumer's perspective, you don't buy the value usually. You buy it and then you're looking for cheapest one. So nowadays, with the help of Google, we can find the very competitive prices for same product, right? So you need to analyze the weakness of the strength of this platform from the consumer's perspective. They try to buy something, even the product with a social value in it, still they're looking for various outlet for such kind of product. So I'm not sure whether attracting more people will solve that problem, because if the shopping mall does not have a competitiveness compared to their competitors, the people who attracted there won't buy it on one stay, or they were coming back again, something like that. So I think like sometimes this kind of marketing strategy might be to me, looks like a Band-Aid. And then you do not know what's scratching the wounds there. So probably before jumping into the marketing strategy, you need a more deeper understanding of the business strategy, and then the strength and weakness of this website itself. Overall, I like the solution part, looks good, but the most bothering me is whether your improvedness can be verified by third-party members. You say that voila, it improved. But for me, it looks improved. But from the perspective of consumers, do they really think that that's improved or not? From the projector members' perspective, is improvement, right? You worked very hard. For me, from the third-party factor, improve. But whether consumers think that has been improved or not, I do not see any concrete justification for it. So if you can add more objective evaluation of the before and after kind of the output, then it will be much valuable and meaningful too. That was a fantastic job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. Next, we'll move to our second judge.
Thank you for the presentation. I thought this was so far the best presentation in terms of logical flow. It was very easy to understand, and how you had laid out the table of contents and followed through with the presentations was very well done. I really like that you had a section. Well, first of all, I really like that you introduced the team and why you landed on the name Amigo. That's always a nice touch. And I really like that you had a company analysis section. However, I was hoping this section is a bit deeper, because e-commerce for social enterprise is a very common concept now. And as you've mapped the competitors, there are numerous competitors out just in the Korean market as well. So making sure what their differentiator are from their competitors and what their value proposition is when it comes to the social element was not clear to me, because socially responsible spending or socially responsible shopping is, I think nowadays has become more of a marketing catchphrase than anything else. So if they're really going to market themselves as a social enterprise, I think there needs to be a deeper differentiator other than promoting responsible spending, where they're sourcing their materials, whether they're priced in that way, or if they're donating some of their proceeds to a social cause. I think all that has to come out a little more clearly. On the areas of improvement, I think first of all, you need to identify what the clear differentiator of this company is, because that wasn't very clear to me. And secondly, when you were defining the problem, I think the problem came down to attracting more customers. But if you took a more 360 view, you would have seen that that's not the only problem. It might have been their product assortment. It might have been their messaging to the market or pricing, or even their social element, if that's not strong enough. I would have liked to see a more 360 analysis of the company at the current state. What I really enjoyed seeing was the diverse solutions that you guys provided for the problem you defined. I think this presentation was offer the most alternatives for the company, and you guys actually tried out a lot of different things, which I think the company will value very much. Overall, great job, and go Team Amigo. Thank you.
Thank you to both of the judges for your warm feedback, as well as Team Amigo for your efforts throughout the semester. Now we're down to the last team of the night. Last but not least, let us welcome our fifth team, Team MBC. MBC is providing consulting for Minari Bakery, so they have researched the lifestyle and aesthetic preferences of the MZ generation. The team is currently finalizing their recommendations to the design and components of the cake product that they are going to make, and the cake kit is going to be released and ready for Christmas. The social media content that they have created is also going to be utilized to promote the product that they have helped to design and manufacture. Stand by for Team MBC.
Have you heard about a DIY cake kit that is made with healthy ingredients? Hello, we are Team MBC Minari Bakery crew. To briefly go over the contents, we would first introduce Minari Bakery, its current problems, then our solution and activation. Minari Bakery is supported by 110 Company, where women can resume their careers working from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. They provide healthy food to customers and contribute to the local economy of Suwon. Minari Bakery has sold many different products before, but now they're mainly selling DIY cake kits. So what was Minari's problem? There were two things the company has requested. First was to develop their main product, DIY cake kit, aligned with their vision of a healthy bakery. As you could see, there was nothing healthy about Minari's current DIY cake kit. And from the survey we conducted, 82% did not view Minari as a healthy bakery by looking at its product. The second request was to expand their target customers to MZ generations. Their current customers were only women with children and had very low rate of MZs. In order to analyze this problem, we have conducted a survey to 100 MZs, and as a result, nearly 80% had not heard of Minari. Thus, we have concluded that Minari had low awareness to MZ generations. In addition, acknowledging that SNS, Instagram in this case, is the most easy way for the company to expose oneself and attract MZ generation, the feedbacks of Minari's Instagram page were that the brand concept and product was unclear and the contents were outdated. Along with the opinions to develop Minari, thus we set our solution as first rebranding and second active Instagram marketing.
First phase of rebranding was making our original products. Currently, we are selling a cake kit composed of whipped cream, castella, and fruit cocktail. Customers were perceiving this as a normal cake kit, so we tried to replace it with friendly and healthy ingredients. We conducted a survey to 100 MZ generations for possible candidates for each component of our cake. For the cake sheet, rice, red rice, and grain was the candidate. For cream, hugimja, injermi, and mugwort was the candidate. And for topping, red bean paste and rice cake was the candidate. Selecting the option with the most vote, we finalized our new cake kit. For cake sheet, West Castella was changed to rice Castella with Korean rice. Cream was changed to injermi cream with less sugar. And lastly, canned fruit cocktail topping was changed to rice cake and natural nuts using natural and Korean ingredients. The second phase of our rebranding was branding our product towards MZ generations. In this process, we considered two things. First was how well known is our brand to MZ generations. We searched hashtags related to our product. For ingredient, we found that injermi had a lot of dessert-related keywords such as latte, cream, and ice cream, etc., with an average of 30,000 posts. Also, injermi and rice cake is what our older generations enjoyed, so we thought retro and 할매입맛 can be the keyword of our ingredients. Retro has 700,000 and 할매입맛 had 38,000 hashtags. However, retro itself included too much industry such as fashion, style, etc., but 할매입맛 was limited only to the dessert industry. Therefore, we decided to choose 할매입맛 DIY cake kit as our brand's concept. Second, we consider how MZ generations are favorable towards our concept of 할매임맛. We found that many big dessert companies are launching the product of 할매임맛 concept, as you can see in the slide. In addition, MZ generations address themselves as 할매니얼, which is a combination of 할매임맛 and millennials themselves. This shows how big the demand is become a syndrome among MZ generations. Therefore, we again, with these justifications, branded our product as 할매임맛 DIY cake kit.
So our last solution is Instagram marketing. The problem we found on Minari Bakery's Instagram is the lack of engagement. We analyzed that the reason was Minari only uploaded unidirectional contents, such as delivering information. There is a survey by the Instagram senior researcher that 60% of respondents conceived that the brand Instagram should provide communication. However, none of their contents could actively increase engagement. Therefore, we decided to conduct engagement contents for Minari. On their post, we could find that the number of engagement was much higher than the informative post when they posted about other themes that can communicate with consumers. Moreover, more than 65% of MZ generation in our survey responded that Minari provide engagement contents. It shows the reason why we focus on conducting engagement contents. Now, we will share our activations based on the solution. First, we and the company planned a new product, which is Minari 할매임맛 DIY kit, and these are how it looked like, including the price, components, and flavor options. In order to successfully learn and promote the new kit, we recruited 10 pre-users who are MZ generation that are interested in using DIY cake kit. It aims to get both promotional reviews on Instagram and gather feedback from consumers. From the event, we got positive responses such as good texture, 할매임맛 is my type, and I want to make it again. Moreover, some followers asked when they can buy this new kit. It can show how followers got interested in the launch of new kit through this event. Next, we posted Minari palette and Minari 백일장. We provided contents that could engage user interaction by commenting or likes. For instance, for Minari palette, we introduced Minari's unique color, 절미 yellow or 민절미, and asked to share one stories or pictures related to that color. For Minari 백일장, we asked to share a poem of Minari in the comments, and the retro vibes are used to make it attractive to MZ generation. Those two posts shows immediate high engagement from Instagram users compared to other posts. For Minari 백일장, you can see that the active interaction level occurred within a shorter term. On the left side are the actual reading poems from users. For Minari palette, people participated less than Minari 백일장, but it also shows some positive reactions, such as being shared on followers' Instagram stories and comment like, adorable color name. In conclusion, we analyzed the problem inherent in the gap between the current situation and the goal of Minari Bakery, and then provided our solution to overcome it. The solution was, first, to launch new kits and promote them for targeting MZ generation with a unique healthy concept. The second is to increase brand awareness by increasing the interaction on Instagram by conducting engagement contents. We hope that Minari Bakery will further have a clear brand identity for the MZ generation within the DIY cake market. So this is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Team Embassy, for your team presentation. Now we will proceed on to the last judge feedback. Members from Team Embassy, as well as Professor Lee and Emma, please come back. And Professor, when you're ready, you can begin your feedback.
Yeah, sorry. I really like the wording 할매니얼. This morning I had a class, and one of the class members just saying that she's watching some old clips, like 옛날 clips from the YouTube. So how old is that? And she's saying that 2010 was a 아주 옛날 video clip. And then what kind of movie are you watching? And she's saying that I'm following the Infinity. Oh, the boy group Infinity. Yeah, she's saying that it's a 옛날 group. So for me, 옛날 is 1950s and 60s, but for the millennials, it's 옛날 is 210. So that was a kind of shocking experience to me. So, but you are talking about the 할매니얼, probably the MG generation who like the infinity might be categorized as 할매니얼 too. I really like the kind of, you actually came up with the new product composition for the Minari. That was an awesome job. Like that, in addition to the marketing strategy, you came up with the, based on the analysis, you came up with like a DIY kit, completely differently composed one. There was like a home run to me, whether it will be good or bad, but at least you come up with a different kind of concept, probably labeled as healthy recipe like that. I think it is very good. But when you're looking at the Minari Bakery's bottom line, I do see that they're doing the B2B. And then if you're looking at the revenue sources of this kind of bakery, if they're in a B2B, probably very significant part of their profit comes from the B2B. And then B2B is very stable. So I think like one of the way to look into the Minari's operation, you might have, if you have a chance to look into the B2B part too. Because for the bakery, B2B is awesome because it's very consistent and then large volumes and then predictable. As a result, is for the operation, this wonderful situation. So Minari Bakery can open a B2B partner, which emphasize on the health aspect of the bakery. Then it will be a huge asset to the Minari Bakery. So even although you're just focusing on the individual consumers, but if you can add one more dimension, B2B part, it will be very helpful for them like that. So, and then the meal kit, pretty good thing. I like this kind of the composition there. And then you're saying that your goal was to rebranding it as a healthy brand. I think this is a nice try. And then probably you're giving them a kind of different kind of kickstart for the looking for another composition of their product and then rebranding themselves. I think a very like enlightening kick to their current operation there. So that's a whole my the comments there. I think you did a very great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. And next we'll move to Emma Nani. Emma, when you're ready.
Thank you for the presentation. First of all, I think this was the best presentation in terms of how the presenters presented. It's very articulate, and everybody had great eye contact, and I could really listen to what everyone was trying to deliver. So great job on that. And secondly, I believe this was the only team that focused on product innovation and actually worked on improving the product itself. And I really liked the Jaime concept. And aside from that, I was really impressed you guys actually tackled a recipe for the company on top of all the social media campaigns that you planned. In terms of areas for improvement, first of all, I was wondering if you were thinking of the social enterprise angle and using that in your marketing campaigns. I think you heavily weighted onto targeting the MZ generation and some of their keywords. But I think a key selling point for Minari is that they are offering support to women that want to get back into the workplace and has social value in that sense. So I was wondering if you guys thought about a campaign anchoring on that core value. And secondly, I also wanted to ask if you guys had done any competitor analysis. I could imagine some bakeries are trying to embark on the same journey or capitalize on the same concept. And I was wondering, given their size and presence currently, if there was any competitor analysis done, because oftentimes if bakeries have a small catch area, and if you actually do competitor analysis and see what their competitive advantage is, you can easily apply that to your own bakery because, again, bakeries have a smaller catch area because they're selling fresh good, freshly baked goods. Thank you. Overall, I thought that was a great job.
Thank you to both of our judges as well as Team MVC for your effort. And that concludes the team presentation part of tonight's showcase. We will now move on to intermission for the audiences and to judge deliberation for the judges. Please open the breakout room. It's going to take 10 minutes, so please come back by 8:38.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. Now we will start our award ceremony. Tonight we are presenting 3 awards, which are the Social Entrepreneurship Award, Social Impact Award, and Judges' Choice Award. First award, next slide, please. Okay, first award is Social Entrepreneurship Award. Social Entrepreneurship Award is given to the team that has shown in-depth, realistic business analysis and the brilliant business mindset in providing their consulting. And the award goes to Team NBC. Congratulations, Team NBC and Minari Bakery. Everyone, please give a round of applause to the team through YouTube live chat or Zoom emojis. And could only the members from the team and the judges turn their video cameras on for a group photo? Hold on a second. Okay, it's good. Thank you, everyone. And next is the Social Impact Award. Social Impact Award is given to the project that best accelerates and delivers the social enterprise's founding values and creates positive social impact. The solution's impact is vivid and clear with the potential for direct social change. And the award goes to, drum roll please, Team Amigo, or Team 2 Name Company. Congratulations, Team Amigo. Everyone, please give a round of applause to the team. And could only the members from the team and the judges turn their cameras on for a group photo? Okay. Done. Thank you so much. And I will pass it on to Byungji.
All right, so last but not least is the Judges' Choice Award. Judges' Choice Award is for the team that received the highest score from the judges for the 2021 Fall Final Showcase. The team has shown a coherent and logical sequence in their presentation of the material and established a framework to consistently develop a sustainable solution for the problems that they identified. As a result of their team project, this team has managed to provide an innovative solution that best embodies SICA's theme for sustainability through ESG. Thus, we are more than proud to award, drum roll please, Team 119 with the Judges' Choice Award. Congratulations, Team 119. Everyone, please give a round of applause to the team. And now could only the members from Team 119 turn their cameras on for a group photo?
I think you guys need to smile.
It's done.
Okay. Congratulations to all of the teams that are receiving an award tonight, as well as the 2 teams. Honorable mentions goes out to everyone here present for your efforts as well as hard work throughout the semester. Now we will move on to the closing ceremony. Since we already done our group photo shoots, we'll move on to our closing ceremony. So we've prepared a short videos to feature the members who are actually the main star of tonight, but haven't really had a chance to speak up to our audiences. So once the clip is ready, I think Byungji can share screen and we'll see what SICA means to all of the members who are present tonight.
SICA has expanded my understanding of social innovation and has also helped me think more clearly about the direction I want to take in life. Through SICA, I've made new friends and have learned from amazing opportunities.
SICA is where I could engage in valuable experiences exploring social innovation and find my place in building a sustainable future while working with like-minded, passionate individuals.
I'm one of the students who started their college life with the pandemic, but SICA activities allowed me to feel what college should be like. It was the best choice I could make this year.
To me, SICA is a place where I could share my passion and interest with wonderful teammates and mentors, making big and small social impacts towards a better society.
For me, SICA is a place where I was able to have new experiences. I learned a lot while seeing SICA, and also I was able to meet a lot of amazing people.
SICA is a place for innovation, networking, and sharing. SICA exists to share knowledge and expertise so that unthinkable ideas can spur, and that's why SICA is created to create.
SICA brought me new experiences, new challenges, and new relationships. Meeting all these people who are constantly trying to learn and grow, SICA really motivated me to always do my best.
SICA, with its opportunities as well as lessons, has allowed me to grow not just as a college student, but also as a person. It's definitely made this year my best one yet.
SICA is a place for me to grow as a learner. It provides an excellent opportunity for me to discover my path as I can explore and develop solutions to real-life social issues with people who have the same passion and interest.
So SICA for me is a place to get some experience, to learn to be innovative and creative in order to make some impact to the societies, as well as to meet wonderful people.
For me, SICA is an unforgettable part of my sophomore year that helped me grow up as a wise and creative person.
SICA for me is a place where I can connect with many creative and intelligent individuals. It is an opportunity to be in a tightly knit community and be a better version of yourself.
SICA is the place of connections and network that brings me into the next level, which broadened my eyes and boundaries into the world and society, which was very narrow before.
To me, SICA means a playground where I can freely explore my creativity and build my own projects with wonderful people.
Thank you for the short interview video that all of the members kindly submitted. And now we will proceed on to end tonight's session. So again, countless thanks to both Professor Lee for joining today, as well as Emma joining for today. Despite the time differences and both of your busy schedules, all the members highly appreciate the quality feedback you've provided for the teams today. As well as special thanks to Professor Michael Kim, our advisory professor, who helped us throughout the semester and even before that for SICA to take place and to grow into such a wonderful academia. And thanks going to the presidency group, both Youngji Cho and Eunbin Cho for managing all of the technical jobs today, as well as the executive members for providing mentorship and scheduling team meetings and being a contact point for all of the teams. And last but not least, all of our members for your countless hours as well as efforts put into this year's project. And that concludes tonight. Thank you all for attending SICA's
Can I also just really quickly just thank all the students of SICA who really made this semester special. And I'm just all the judges are saying how much the quality of the presentations have improved since last year. I think that the extra effort really showed in everybody. There were no everybody was a winner tonight, in my view. And again, thank the judges, Professor Lee Sam-yeol and Emma for coming all the way from Singapore to join us tonight. And so, yeah, thank you very much, everybody.
Would it be okay if I ask a quick closing remarks coming from Professor Lee as well as Emma, who frequently visit our showcases? I think it will be nice for the students to be able to hear from you personally.
Yeah, personally, Michael and I just started the social innovation, and we introduced the concept of social innovation to the UIC. And then I witnessed the growth of the SICA. I'm quite impressed by this year's performance. And personally, I see that my daughter is at the age of yours. And then I was just expecting that, wow, you guys are super, super duper. So I think I see a lot of prospect for you guys to grow into. And then I'm just can't wait to see that what kind of career path you will take and the meaningful impact on the earth and society. Thank you. Wonderful job.
Thank you, Professor. Any words from Emma or?
Sure. Thank you for having me. This is my second year participating as a judge, and it's always amazing to see how young people. Okay, that makes me sound old. I'm not that old, but how young students think about their surroundings, the companies that they interact with, and solve business problems. I love that how proactive this team is with a social awareness. And in the last video where the SICA members were summarizing what SICA is for them, I remember one student saying that it was a life-changing perspective. I really hope during these times in undergrad, you have more experiences that will influence and change your life. Because once you leave the safe boundaries of school, you'll have more experiences that aren't always life-changing. You may have very repetitive days, and you may have days that you're just chugging along and working really hard. But I think these experiences for you will be really memorable and give you that energy and motivation to power through some of the problems you face in life. So all the best. I loved seeing that this year's presentation was even a better improvement than last year's. So keep up the good work.
Thank you, everyone. And that concludes tonight. We were Social Innovation Creators Academia, everyone, created to create. And thank you for attending 2021 Fall's